Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are live. We live, baby. We live. We live, baby. You know, we're going to start this episode in a minute or two. We're going to start this live out in a minute or two. Let's see if anyone shows up in this live, pops up in this live. If you make an appearance in this live, if you hop up in this live, drop some love, show some love. Drop some comments, show some love. Sing. This is, you see here, this is all the protection you need. You win some, you lose some. You win to find another day. You think you're a man with that gun. I'm a man without it. Sing. Rest in peace to John Witherspoon. That's probably like the only serious scene out of the Friday scenes. I don't know what made me think about that scene, but yeah, rest in peace to John Witherspoon. But anyway, we're gonna start this show. We're gonna start it. We're gonna start this live episode. Let's get into it. Run that intro.
How you living? What? How you living? What? How you living? What?
And live in color.
You're probably wondering, how'd you do that? How'd you add a clip on the live video? Because I can, baby. Yes, sir. That was dope. Ever since I figured out how to add clips to live video. Anyway, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. My wife said I have an obnoxious hand clap every time I do this. Let me hear that hand clap, Hurricane Chris. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of GQTV, y'all. And I am your host, yours truly, your boy, the one and only, your girlfriend's favorite YouTuber himself. I am GQ Jamal, and this is where we review, pay homage, and just talk about shows and movies from both past and present, y'all. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. I believe this is like my third video in 1 week. Man, I'm just dropping content left and right. I'm trying to stay consistent. But happy Friday to everyone who's tuning in this live video. Hope everyone's having a good week. It's the end of the week. Everyone's starting to unwind, just have that weekend off. I hope everyone's having a good week. Thank you again for tuning in this live. I really appreciate it a lot. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is GQ Jamal. That is GQ Jamal. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. Check out all of my content. Check out all of my work. Check out all of my reviews. Drop a comment. Drop some comments. Show some love. I really appreciate it if you do. Y'all, this is another episode of Season by Season. This is where I take a show and just review each season. So this past week or two, I've been reviewing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air each season. For those who are not like familiar of how I do these things, I take a show, review a season, tell you some facts, tell you my top 5 favorite episodes from each season, tell you the pros and cons, then I drop a rating. If you love what I'm doing for these shows, drop a comment. Let me know what show I should do next. I have a couple shows in mind that I want to do next. But if you love what I'm doing, I appreciate it. Let me know if you want me to do more shows and cartoons as well. Yeah, all you have to do is just drop a comment. But going back to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, one of my favorite shows of all time, next to Martin. So I reviewed the first three seasons of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is 1994 season. So in this season, Will and Carlton they go to college. They go to college. Last season they graduated. This season they're in college. They go to UCLA. You see in the first like you see in the beginning, Will does not take school seriously. He still jokes around, doesn't take college seriously. Like, even there's one episode of where Will drops out of a class. I think it's Western philosophy or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I got that class wrong. I said it wrong. But he learns he learns a few things about the real world. Yeah, he learns a few things about the real world. But yeah, so this season is really like the freshman year for Will and Carlton. Also, besides Will and Carlton going to school, Hillary loses Trevor. Trevor's Trevor's gone, y'all. Trevor died in the season premiere. He fell off a bungee cliff. Uh, bungee, yeah, he was bungee jumping. Yeah, that's how you say it. And he fell off. He fell off, landed face planted, and they did it like on live TV, and everyone was like shook, like, and Will in that episode was like, I'm not a expert or nothing, but he's not supposed to be falling off. He's not supposed to be landing like that, and you can hear the whole audience just laughing during that episode. But it's sad, but it's kind of fun. It's not funny, but the whole audience was just laughing. But another thing about season four, Janet Hubert anymore. They they replaced her with Daphne Reed. Daphne Reed is the new Aunt Viv, and she's light skinned. She's light skinned, and I really don't care. I really don't care for this Aunt Viv because, like I said in previous videos, Aunt Viv, the dark skinned Aunt Viv, was a strong woman. She represent strong woman. Dark Aunt Viv represent like there's like okay. Let me back up. In the 90s, you had two black moms, maybe three black moms that were like strong. You had Aunt Viv, Harriet from Family Matters, and Claire Huxtable. Claire Huxtable. I know she's an 80s character, but the Cosby Show ran through like the early 90s. I mean, the 80s and ended in the early 90s, 92. But yeah, yeah, three like strong black moms that was just great. But I just felt like this and Viv wasn't strong. She didn't really have great iconic episodes. So I really didn't care for Aunt Viv. And also Ashley in this season, she's hitting puberty. She's like 14, 15. She's just dealing with, teenage, like she's just dealing with like life as a teenager. I think she's in high school in this season. So she's dealing with dating and all that. I know there was a serious episode with her next season, but we're gonna talk about that next season. But yeah, also I noticed that the coloring of the show changed. You can see like the first three seasons was all colorful, and now this season's like I don't know how to describe it, but if you watch Fresh Prince, you'll notice you know what I'm talking about. And also Jeffrey Jeffrey in later episodes, man. Jeffrey Jeffrey in like later seasons was just funnier. Like starting with season three, he was even funnier. I know in season two he was funny in season two. He kind of like let loose. He let loose, but Jeffrey's still funny. He still comes with the sneak disses like Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil asks Jeffrey or tells Jeffrey like Jeffrey, fetch me my tools, and Jeffrey comes in with a sneak diss like you mean your knife and fork. Yeah, like for real, Jeffrey always comes in with the jokes. Hey, babe. Yeah, my wife commenting. I gotta say hi to the wife. I'm sorry, y'all, but I gotta say hi to the wife. But yeah, but yeah, back to what I was saying. So Jeffrey, yeah, Jeffrey always had them sneak disses. Jeffrey always had them sneak disses ready to dish out like boom, boom, boom. Then season four, baby Nikki, he's like he's like 6 months old now. Six months old. So you won't he you'll see more of him during the season. Then the next season, Ross Badgley, he was in the Little Rascals Buckwheat. So he plays baby Nikki next season. But yeah, season four was a solid season. It's a great season to be honest. Season four and five, they're one of my favorite seasons. And we'll get into my ratings for season four. We'll get into the ratings of season four here in a second. But I'm going to before I do that, let me say something about Jazz. Jazz, he's still in season four. He appears in a lot of episodes in season four. And if you notice, his wardrobe changes. His wardrobe changes. And normally when you see Jazz wearing that little button up shirt, he always gets thrown out the house. That's a little fun fact. Jazz always gets thrown out the house. If you notice that he's wearing that button up shirt, he's he's about to get thrown out by Uncle Phil. But yeah, so yeah, Jazz's wardrobe changes, and also like in episode one, episode one of season four, he noticed that Aunt Viv, he noticed Aunt Viv. He goes to her and says, Aunt Viv, I mean, yeah, Aunt Viv, something about you changes. Like you're different. You look a little different because um the actress that played Aunt Viv changed. They switched up like actresses. So yeah, that was funny. But I'm going to tell y'all my top 5 favorite episodes of season 4. But before I do that, make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is GQ Jamal. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Check out all of my reviews. I've reviewed the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air few times. Check out my Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reviews. Check out my Bel-Air review that me and my wife done. Check out our couples video. We reviewed Bel-Air, the new Fresh Prince reboot. So go check it out. Drop some comments. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you love what I'm doing, please drop a comment. I really appreciate it. If you love when I do the seasons by season review, just drop a comment. I'll just drop a comment. I would appreciate that a lot. But let's get into it. The top 5. My top 5 favorite episodes of season 4. I got my list down. This was very hard coming up with my top 5s for this season because man, there's a lot to say in season 4. I know 2 of the most iconic episodes I did not put in my top 5. I put in my honorable mentions, but I will talk about those 2 episodes after I did my top 4. We're going to get into those episodes. Let's get into it. Number 5 is where there's a will, there's a way. So this is the season 4 premiere. Will and Carlton, they get prepared for college. They move out first they move out the Bel-Air mansion, the house. They get their own apartment. Will was telling Carlton it's time to move out the nest and have sex with girls. I was telling Uncle Phil that. Uncle Phil was like, he went up to Will and he like chased Will. He chased Will around the house, and he was like, "What you telling my boy that life is one big orgy or something like that?" He just snaps. He just snaps on Will, and Carlton was like, "Dad." Will was like, "You're like, man, this man's crazy. Like, this man's crazy." But yeah, that episode. That was a great episode. We see that Will and Carlton they get their own place, try to move on their own. They get their own place, and Jazz throws like he throws a party. He throws a party, invites everyone. Then he gets everyone kicked out. Then before that, Carlton invites a friend that he met at the Peacock. The Peacock. So the Peacock is like a place where college kids can go to study and socialize and whatnot. The person that Carlton invites is Jackie. Jackie, that played by Tyra Banks. So at the end of the the part 1 of the episode, she appears at the party. No one's there. Carlton and Jackie, they kind of like talked a little bit. Then Will comes back to like get the stuff. He comes back to the apartment. Then he noticed that Carlton's friend is actually Jackie from Philly. Will and Jackie, they had a thing back then. But the next episode, Jackie was like asking Will, like, how come you haven't called me? And Jackie was not feeling that, and she was like, "You have not changed." So Jackie thinks Will is immature. Then this is the second part of the episode, like the two-part episode. Part two of the episode, we find out that um, Trevor proposed to Hillary. Then Trevor like proposed like he was like bungee jumping, and he proposed, and like the cord snapped, and he falls and letting it face first, and he like dies on the scene, and everyone was like watching the TV just shook. I'm like, yo, what is going on? But yeah, so at that moment, or at the time, Hillary was living at the pool house, but Will, being selfish, because he got kicked out of the apartment, he needed a place to stay, and Will's like, yo, asking Hillary like, yo, like you should not live at the pool house because it reminds you of Trevor. Hillary gets scared or gets sad, so she moves out the pool house, moves back at home, and Will and Carlton moves in the pool house, moves back home to the pool house. So yeah, that was a great episode. Number 5. That was number 5. Number 4. Number 4. Fresh Prince After Dark. So this is a Halloween episode. This was a Halloween episode, and I think the family, they go to this one dude's house. I forgot what's his name. I guess like does this whole magic stuff, or puts a hex on people or something like that. Will doesn't believe it. Then just bad stuff started to happen. Bad stuff started to happen at the Banks' house. Carlton's hair changes to like multicolored, looking like a snow cone. He does the infamous Home Alone scream, like yeah. Then Ashley was like practicing tennis, and the tennis ball machine starts like being broke and spitting out. I think the machine jams and like spits out all these tennis balls, attacking Ashley. Will comes out of nowhere with a pot. He was like hitting the balls. Then Jazz makes an appearance. Hillary and Jazz, they like make out in the couch. But yeah, so Will goes back to the house, try to make the guy stop the hex or whatever. And this was a dream. This was all a dream. So yeah, that was a funny episode. But going into number 3, going into number 3, when you hit upon a star. This episode, Will and Carlton, they're at the Peacock. They throw like a celebrity party or something like that. No, it was like an album release party of I think it was Samantha or something like that. I forgot the name of the character, but it was played by Stacey Dash. At the time, Stacey Dash was eye candy. She was in Mo Money and Clueless. So back then, Stacey Dash was just eye candy. And yeah, Stacey Dash plays a bimbo, D-list artist, and Will falls in love. It's pretty much lust, and she invites Will to Vegas or a cabin or whatever, and it was supposed to be his birthday, and he doesn't go to the birthday. Everyone is mad at him, so they go to like Vegas, and she ends up playing Will. Yo, she ends up playing Will for some other guy. It was Silas from the Jamie Foxx show. He plays the guy that Stacey Dash ends up sleeping with. So Will fights him. Will fights him and gives him the Chris Rock slap. Nah. I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. So so he he gets thrown out the boxing match, and he just finds out that Stacey Dash wasn't good for him. Wasn't good for him. So he returns the ring. So he finds out it was nothing but lust, not love. So that was a funny episode. Going in to number two. Number two. M is for the many things she gave me. Yo, this episode is an Uncle Phil episode. Rest in peace to James Avery. So, Uncle Phil's old flame. No, he starts to like reminisce about his old flame. Like, yo, you're 25 years in, married. You're deep in your marriage. You're thinking about your old flame. You're thinking about your old flame. So he's talking to Will. He's talking to Will about his old and Viv comes out of nowhere, and he'll yeah, and here's Uncle Phil talking, and Uncle Phil says to Will, yo, Janet Janice was the one that got away, so I settled down for Vivian. Vivian comes out of nowhere, hears that, and she is pissed. She is pissed. Yo, so the point of this episode, his old flame comes to visit, and she brought her daughter. Will dates her daughter. Her daughter's like 18, same age as Will. Takes her daughter out. Yo, Janice was Janice was played by Pam Grier, a a popular '70s star. Yo, Pam Grier was like big. Yo, I think she played Jackie Brown. But yeah, Pam Grier. So yeah, going back to the episode. Will Will takes her daughter to the on a date, drops her daughter off at the hotel. Janice comes out of her room, starts hitting on Will. She starts hitting on Will. She like lures him to her room. She started like um showing all the pictures from when she went to vacation. It's like I think it was like semi naked pictures or something like that. Then she comes out of nowhere, gets undressed. She was wearing a robe, and she got undressed, and Will was getting uncomfortable. Janice seduced my man Will. Will took the bait. Smashed Jenny. Like, ooh, you slept with Janice. Like, ooh, Uncle Phil voice. Like, ooh, you slept with Janice. Oh man. So Will comes back to the crib. Will comes back to the crib. Carlton was like being nosy and stuff. Then Uncle Phil invites Janice and her daughter again. And Viv. And Viv is pissed, feeling some type of way because Uncle Phil is still like having like little feelings about Janice, like back in the day. So, so I believe at this point, Janice was like trying to hit up on Uncle Phil. Will sees that. Will stops the conversation and he was like, "Yo, Uncle Phil, can I see you in the at the house in the kitchen?" Uncle Phil follows Will to the kitchen, and Will's like, "Yo, Uncle Phil, you cannot go to the hotel with that woman." And Uncle Phil was like all the way confused and stuff. And Will told Uncle Phil what happened at the night of the date. Uncle Will was like, "Tad Al." Uncle Phil like, "Tad Al, like Tad Al." Uncle Phil was all the way confused. And he's trying to figure out what was Tad Al. Then finally it clicks in like, "Ooh, ooh, like you slept with Janice." Yo, I want to make a skit of that scene. That scene was like one of the funniest scenes of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Everyone heard Uncle Phil yelling because, yep, like James Avery, he has a strong voice. Uncle Phil said that out loud where everyone can hear him. Then finally, Aunt Viv kicked Janice out. But yeah, that was a funny ass episode. So I gave y'all my top 4 episodes. I'm gonna mention y'all some honorable mentions because these two episodes were probably like one of the best episodes of the series. We're gonna start with Blood is Thicker Than Mud. This episode is a Carlton episode. Carlton joins a frat, and the frat leader, he's pro-black. He's pro-black. He wants all the blacks stick together, and Carlton's an outcast. Um, he's not the stereotypical, he's not the stereotypical black guy. I mean, but yeah. So the frat leader noticed that Carlton is like kind of I wouldn't say snob, but he's like spoiled and like he got everything handed to him. So he goes extra hard on Carlton. And he doesn't do it with the other frat members. So he goes extra hard on Carlton. Will starts to notice in the other frat leader too. The guy that was the frat leader. No, the guy that was the frat leader was not Clifton Powell. I forgot his name. He was in South Central. Um, OG Bobby Johnson. If you know the actor's name, drop a comment, please. But yeah, he played one of the frat leader, and the other frat leader was played by he was in Late on Me. But yeah, so Will and the other frat leader starts to notice, and he was like, "Yo, man, like I don't like how you doing with brother Carlton." And he was like, "I didn't ask if you don't think." Ugh. He was like, I didn't ask for your opinion." So at the end of the episode, um, Will Will gets in the fraternity, but Carlton doesn't. Will the frat leader tells Will like, "Yo, you're in," but Carlton's not because he doesn't want a Bel-Air sellout to be in his fraternity. Will gets pissed and tells Carlton that he didn't get in, but in reality, Carlton didn't get in. So Carlton came back with the most mic drop, like speech or comment of what. Yeah, he comes back with a mic drop. Like, you don't like me because like the way I was raised and stuff like that. That was like actually a great episode. that's actually a great episode. There's a lot I can say about that episode, but that's another video for another time. But yeah, so that's one honorable mention, and of course, one of the greatest episode of the Fresh Prince. Yeah, the greatest episode of the Fresh Prince is Papa's Got a New Excuse. This episode, Will finally meets his dad, Lou. Lou ran out on Will's life when he was like 4 or 5. 14 years he was not even in Will's life. So at the beginning of the episode, Lou is just chilling at the Peacock. I like watching Will's move, and he goes up to Carlton, and he was like, "Carlton, that guy's been staring at me like all day." So Will goes up to Lou. Will goes up to Lou, and he was like, "Hey man, like what's up?" And Lou was like, he tells Will like, "Hey, I'm your father. Like, do you remember me?" And Will goes back to Carlton. He was like, "Yo, that's my father." So this is like a teardropper episode. Uncle Phil hated Lou. Once he finds out that Lou was here, it was, oh man, everything went down. Like Kevin Hart is about to go down. Yeah, like yeah. So he reunites with Lou. Will and Lou reunite. Lou reunites with the family. Uncle Phil's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, he leaves. He doesn't like. He's not in the mood. He's not in the mood to eat. So that tells you something. That tells you something. He hates Lou with a passion. He hates Lou with a passion. And he tells Will that Lou is just here for himself. He's not for you. Will's not trying to hear it. At this point, at this point, Will and Lou they hung out. They go to like the amusement park. They like shooting hoops, and yeah, it got real tense in that episode. It got real tense in that episode. Will was not trying to hear anything that Uncle Phil was trying to say to him. He kicks a door and tells him like once school ends, he's out of here because Lou wants Will to travel with him for work. Will thought it was a great idea. Then he tells Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil doesn't think that's a great idea. Will gets mad, storms off. Then at the end of the episode, Luke comes back and tells the family like, "Hey, this is like a change of plans. Like I can't take Will with me." Uncle Phil with a serious look. Uncle Phil with a serious look. Uh, gets mad. He's frustrated. He tells Lou like, "You cannot run in and out of Will's life. Like Will is not like a toy or something to where you can just go in and out his life." And yeah, that the ending was just tense. And Lou tells Uncle Phil, "You're a better man than me. Like you're a better man than me. Like when 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 Vi had Will, I was scared. I was scared, and Uncle Phil was like, "Yo, cut the crap." Like you can almost hear him cuss. Like there was a few cuss words in this episode, but not too extreme. But like cut the crap, like bull, bull. Then finally Lou gets fed up and asks Uncle Phil, "Are you going to tell him or not that I'm leaving?" And Uncle Phil was like, "I'm not doing your dirty work for you." Then finally Will comes and Lou tells Will that you can't roll with me. And Will, just with this disgusted look, Will with this disgusted look looks at Lou, tells him like, "You're not his dad," or like he calls Lou by his real name. He doesn't call Lou his dad. And then finally you see the infamous scene of Uncle Phil and Will. And that scene still, like, to this day, that was a 1994 episode. That was like what, 28 years? 28 years from when that episode aired, and that's still like touching, because anyone that didn't grow up with their dad, they can feel this episode. This is like one of the realest episodes. This was on NBC. This was on NBC. That episode was just touching, and you could see what, like, Will was like crying. This is like the first time Will like cried in an episode. Well, second time, because he cried when Carlton overdosed. But yeah, this is like the second time. But yeah, then the episode ends. The camera pans to the like statue of a dad holding his son. It, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, the episode ends. The episode ends on the live. No, blah. The episode ends. The camera panning to zooming into the statue of a father holding his son. And that episode was like the best episode of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That should have been my number one, but I'm putting that as an honorable mention, as one of my honorable mention. I just want to talk briefly about that. I know I've said a lot, but we're gonna get into one of my number one favorite episode that like had me dying with laughter. But we're gonna get into it. My number one favorite episode is "I Know Why the Cage Bird Screams." This episode, Will made a bet on like a football game, like the UCLA football game, and Carlton Carlton was the mascot. Carlton, Carlton, he he's the mascot of the UCLA football team. Like peacocks. We the dead of three peacocks. But yeah. So Will bets like $1,000, $500, $1,000 on the UCLA game, and the rival team like kidnaps Carlton, the mascot, because the mascot is like a good luck charm or something like that. If they do their like dance, if they do their dance, they always win. But the rival team kidnaps Carlton, and they have to figure out how to get Carlton back. And so Will or try to find Carlton. Carlton's like kidnapped at I think it's like a frat house or something like that. Some girl he like, rival gang kidnaps him. Will finds out where he is, and he puts on the mascot, the costume, and so he goes to the game. And the football team notices that is not Carlton. So they get discouraged. Will does a speech, and they end up losing. But that's probably my favorite episode from season 4. But there's there's so many like good episodes of season 4. I enjoyed season 4 a lot from beginning to end. It had me dying. It was good that we got to see Will and Carlton um, get into the whole college life, and there was a lot of like special appearance. Boys to Men, they make a special appearance. John Witherspoon. Uh, who else was there? John Witherspoon. Um, yeah, a lot of special appearance. There was a lot of special appearance in season 4, and also I forgot the actor's name. He was on Lean on Me, and he was on Lean on Me and First Kid. I forgot his name, but he made an appearance. But yeah, so there was a lot of special appearance. Of course, Pam Grier was in season 4. Tyra Banks, she made. I'm kind of like, I wish Tyra Banks was in the like. Tyra Banks was in like all of season 4 because I thought she made. I know they didn't like date Lisa and Jackie, but I thought she was like a better girlfriend than Lisa. But Lisa was cool. But I'm gonna talk about season 5 in next video. I'm gonna talk about season 5 in next video. But my pros, I thought season 4 had great episodes, iconic episodes, 26 episodes. One episode was a clip show. So in reality, 25. And the writing, the chemistry, Fresh Prince, it's never a dull moment. And the writing was great. My cons, I don't have any cons really. I wish Tyra Banks was in more of season 4, but I don't really have any cons for season 4. But I'm going to talk about season 5 in next video. Season 5 is like my second favorite season of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But we're going to talk more in next video. I'm sorry. This is like, damn, this is 48 minutes. But yeah, if you love season 4 of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what was your favorite episode of season 4. Let me know who was your favorite character from season 4. Let me know what was your favorite episode. Let me know what you think about the iconic episode of Will finally meeting his dad. And also, we got we got to see Will going to West Philadelphia in this season, and we got to see the guy that like he got in a fight with. But yeah, let me know what was your favorite episode from season 4. Drop a comment down below. Let's talk about it. Anything about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, let's talk about it down below. If you made it far through this video, if you hopped on live, if you watched this video when I posted on Facebook or Instagram, if you watch this video some or 30 seconds of it, I just want to say thank you. Thank you again for tuning in by watching this video. I really appreciate it a lot. I enjoy making these live videos. I know sometimes I ramble, go off subject, wasting time, but I really appreciate it when you watch my videos. Like, for real, I'm not just saying that. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. Check out all of my reviews. Check out all of my reviews. Check out all of my content. Drop some comments. Show some love. I really appreciate it if you do. Yo, make sure y'all go subscribe. Make sure y'all go check out the Retro Brothers podcast starring Richman Z and your boy GQ Jamal. Check out the Retro Brothers podcast on Spotify. Yo, if you have any topics you want me and Rich Man Z to discuss in future episodes, drop a comment down below. Drop a comment. Just hit one of us up. If you have any shows, movies, cartoons, music videos, random scenes you would like me to review in future episodes, drop a comment down below. I'm going to say this in every video I put out. A closed mouth do not get fed. If you do not comment, drop a comment down below. It's that simple. I would love to do a review of your requests. More content is coming out. Make sure y'all go check out all of my content. But until next time, everyone, I want to hop off this live. I've been on this live for almost an hour. I love talking to y'all. I love chopping it up, telling you about just random stuff. If it's TV, movies, just random stuff. I just love going on live, just speaking to y'all. But until next time, this is GQTV, and I am your host, yours truly, your boy, the one and only, your girlfriend's favorite YouTuber himself. I am GQ Jamal, and this is GQTV. Until next time, everyone. Peace. Oh.
How you living? What? How you living? What? How you living? What? Been living color.